Hey guys, this is the intro for my channel. My name is Mike, and I'm the general manager of a small food co-op in the south coast of Mendocino County in California. I've had a few calls from recruiters, and I've noticed some interesting dynamics in the co-op world, and I'm gonna see what I can do to help it out. The primary thing I'm noticing is a new bloom of food co-ops in urban areas, specifically, food deserts by label, low-income communities, often without good transportation, with a lot of gap between them and reasonable food access. And so the communities and the local agencies that want to help those communities are putting together food co-ops and helping them get started. But there seems to be a shortage of qualified, actually having worked in the trenches of co-op leadership to run these places. So they start looking around and they find people with training in one area or another, but none that have really pulled off both. It seems like there is either retail professionals, people who have worked in various corporate retail or who have worked exclusively in some kind of small business, or people who have the community heart, the side that the other half of the co-opness, which is the community business, the small thing. The profit is not the only priority, but not a whole lot that actually have an opportunity to really put them both together. So that's something I want to work on. I'm doing some research right now. I've been reaching out through my networks to other managers of other spaces, trying to put together some of the origin stories of the old school co-op with the sort of organic natural food background into this new version, which is, hey, we'd like to have food here too, whether or not they can necessarily make it a part of their focus to be natural and organic all the time. It seems like they still have an interest in healthy food choices and local food choices, and a lot of the cases may or may not actually have something to do with whether or not the food sources are actually certified, even if they are grown through fairly clean methods. I've seen there's a lot of cities with troubles right now. Detroit, lots of East Coast, highly developed urban areas have concentrations. They just don't have a place to shop for food. And, I think that if there was a way to create the environment for producing co-op managers for export, so to speak, that we would actually do the world a great service. So I want to start this, and I'm getting the ball rolling. If you have an interest, my email address is in my description for my channel. I'll put it, more information in the comments or in the description. Comment, question, if you have thoughts on forming your own co-op, or you've been a part of a co-op that maybe failed. That's especially interesting to me because I have some theories on some of the factors. There's a lot of people to blame with a co-op, but at the end of the day, I really do think that a lot of it comes down to who the captain is. So hence the co-op captain school in its infancy. Hopefully in another year or so it'll be sort of a real project, and maybe maybe the co-op that I manage or another co-op that we've networked with will become a hosting site to start this option for mentoring and training new co-op managers to go to these spaces. I feel like it's really likely actually that those managers will come from the communities fairly close to where they are. Moving to a new zone is great, and there are people who are willing to do that. But once again, if you can get somebody from your space who really appreciates the community, who has the capacity to do the job and wants to be a part of it, I think that's how you build what the first generation of co-ops has done a really good job of, which is having one manager for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So 30 is probably the number. But the more people I talk to, the more often it seems like the co-ops have been around for 40 years, have had the same manager for decades. And it would be nice to help create that for these communities that need that as well. So if you have any interest, let me know. I'll put all my information below. Thanks.